Yo, what's up guys? Siege on the main. Siege is starting in about 8 minutes. Gonna do this one live. As mentioned before, this is just going to be a one siege thing because the next siege I'm already going to be on the boat, so I'm going to be on my vacation. I did add a few more hits. I had the issue with Siege on the main, especially for videos, because a lot of the presets I was using, were presets that I wasn't allowed to show. So I sat down with the guild for a bit. Thanks a lot for that, guys. And they just gave me some ideas. I'll just use this. This is something you can show. This is something you can show. So these are all of the hits that I'm going to be having right now. There are a few hits further down to the bottom, which are like the hidden offenses. But these are all of the offenses that I'm allowed to showcase, which is most of the time my LD offenses. And then I added a bunch of like 4-stars, such as this one I haven't really showcased that much, but it's a known offense as well, where it's just like protect the Bernard, but protect the Orochi, and Orochi is gonna murder things. This one, the typical Chris is gonna murder things kind of thing. The Gyome version of this, which I think is the strongest version of the Belial right now. This team is pretty common as well, which does mean that this team you need a second Amber for. I've seen also a lot of people use a Bludgeon on this spot, so if you don't have a second Amber, that is an option. And then, of course, all of my LD hits. Oh, this one is also kind of new-ish, which is just protect the Nezuko comp, more or less, and then with the Nezuko, you're just gonna do an insane amount of damage. That's just pretty much all there is to it. And you have like reflect, and like it's just a stupid comp. It's actually pretty strong. And those are pretty much all of the hits that we're going to be using. I will not be showcasing the runes at the moment I go in, because the first few hits, the moment that we start right away at the 12 mark, will be going in as fast as possible. So let me know in the comments if I should make more live Siege videos like this on the main, or you prefer the Siege videos on the alt, because this everything is like 2 clicks, everything dead kind of style most of the time. We shall see. Okay, so Siege is about to start in about 10 seconds. You will see how fast it goes before everything is called in Origin. It's really insane, especially with decks right now. Let me know if it's similar in other guilds. I guess in more G1 or chill guilds, it's less like that. But in high-end guilds, it's just crazy how fast everything is right away called, and everything is just right away locked in and all of that kind of stuff. For this one, what is the thing I would like to use most? I think I'll go for this hit. Don't think he would outspeed me. At least, nope, doesn't. Yeah, most of the time, I kind of like these teams can have the unit on the right being fast, but in most cases, well, that's the thing with the decks right now. I can throw my absolute fastest set at this whole team right now, and throwing my absolute fastest set at this whole team pretty much means that this whole team is running at, I think, even the Farad is like plus 220 something speeds. Like that is, this whole team is fast. That is the main thing with this. So that definitely does work out. You already see a lot of hits flying in. And we're gonna just try to get as many hits in as possible in the first few seconds. What do we have over here? This one we can also hit. How do we like to do this? This one, let's just full on speed rock contest. I don't have the team. Don't have the Suicide Squad as a team right now, but this can also definitely work as a team. Let's see, how many will runes are we working with? We are working with some will runes. I think in this case, I think I'd rather just still send the S3. Did not actually stun, that's kind of bad. We did land a lot of that on that. That will spread to you. I think the best thing we can do is probably this. Spreads to that. You still have your damage in, which kind of does suck, but sure, not the worst of things. Let's go for this. The highest attack bar, once again, is not you. I cannot get the Oblivion on you. That kind of sucks. Because you still have the silence. Let's just do this, I guess. And let's just try to hit that again. No stuns whatsoever. Curse of the Beautiful shouldn't land all too much, preferably. Okay, and we can actually start landing some shit right now. Normally, this team does tend to land a lot more, but in this case, it actually had some issues. I guess the shield runes kind of made it a little bit more annoying of where I can freely send my hits, but that's the thing about this team. It is crazy fast, but it's still kind of heavy on a bruiser scenario. Also, the first time I hit the S3 over there did not actually properly stun, but as you can see, this team is still pretty tanky, still pretty bruisery-ish, and I had this running for defense for a while, but currently it's not really defense material anymore. Not because it's bad, but mainly because people are just too used to it. So we can already see a lot of things being hit over here. That one I don't really have something against in a preset. That is all being targeted already, all being targeted already, all being targeted already. So it's just these, which is something I don't necessarily think I have a preset against. I could go with this, but that is rather tricky because this thing could provide the glancing shit. Could I go with this, snipe you out, and then bruiser against these two? I could, but it is definitely tricky as well. Yeah, a lot of tricky hits in this one, to be honest. I think I'm kind of gonna YOLO it on this one. I think it is doable. Let's just... Did I actually reserve it? Nope, I did not reserve it, and everyone is already reserving it like crazy. So in this case, did not even... I got 2 hits in. We're 4 minutes in the siege. I got 2 hits in, so that's how crazy it is in Origin. I guess the other hits I will do a little bit later. Normally I'm a bit faster, but since I'm also more talking right now and did not go in for the fastest hits, because the moment I just go in for a bunch of Lucians, what are on these? These are also a little bit... Well, this one, for example, is definitely like Lucianable. Over here, there are also a few faster hits. Yeah, these are also more Lucianable kind of hits right there. So these could have been faster than the hits that I did. So normally I go in for fast hits, but yeah. Oh, wait, this one is available. Yep, okay, nice. We do have a pretty fast potential team out here. But most of the time, even if you silence this, I am still fine to just straight up Lucian this. It is very low odds for that one to actually mess me up. And in most cases, they're just not fast enough to mess me up in the first place. Because you would have to have this as a fast enough unit and then the rest of the team as an anti-Lucian, which is a combination you don't really see too much. Plus, I'm pretty fast, so therefore we can just take that down. So I did spot that one extra hit being targeted. That one is also... Okay, that one already done. That's just the thing in Origin, man. Everything is locked in so crazy fast. We're 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes in the siege, and we already completed 32 hits. Did fail a few, that does also happen because people just go in like YOLO balls against the walls, that kind of stuff. But that also kind of makes it hard for me to do all of these hits live, so... I'll just kind of set timers and see when I can do some hits and then do all of these all of these hits live. But it takes me about like 10 times more effort than just pre-recording them and then talking about them later. Okay, I secured another hit and we're gonna kind of YOLO this one just to see if this stuff does work. Donnie was using this. People told me don't use this. We're gonna use it. It's one of those things like there's a lot of outspeed comps right now. Potentially outspeed comps. Apparently this thing is slow as fuck. In this case, I kind of do want to stay in this form. I think I'm just gonna do this for now. Okay, we're just proccing, I guess. That is fine. What does that do? Absolutely nothing. And we start murdering things. Yep, that's definitely not gonna cut it right there. That is for sure. So, this is just one of those hits. If you have the units, you can use it. Is it really recommended to use? It is very RNG. But if you just proc a million times things work, that is definitely a thing. And yeah, that's just the thing. I do have my light tanks. They both have minus dark, so they're definitely not really gonna get fucked anyhow. And then, yeah, the thing on the right, if it starts landing Oblivions, I do have 3 passives. It could go pretty bad, but in this case, it's not really going that bad, it seems. Also, you are hitting that. That's a death sentence right there. I don't have the exact Douglas that I have for RTA normally on this one, but it is a little bit more beefy, tanky, and anti-additional damage and that kind of stuff. But it works. For the Douglas hit that I just did now, these are the runes, how they're looking like. A lot of attack, lost HP, counter damage, those kind of things, and then it's just full tanky, full res, full tanky, full res. Nothing too special to it. Okay, let's see, what do we have over here? Ooh, a bunch of that kind of stuff, but it's most of the time fairly doable. Seems very doable on a team with this over here. So all of them are actually decently fast, just in case that his Asher and everything is in proper tuning. But you get so much bar from this that most of the time, any Rahul defense is just straight up, oh, that's actually the worst thing that could happen, potentially, I guess. Especially with that interaction there as well. Did not get any of those. Yeah, that's pretty much the worst interaction that can happen for me. but therefore all of these units are pretty tanky, and then it still works. But any Rahul was just like straight up Hey Gang food. I've seen very little Rahuls actually do good against Hey Gang. Okay, we do get another hit over here, so let's see if we can hit this. Did make a few new styles of this. I'm gonna try out the Chris. Let's just see if this works. Whole team, fast, that kind of good stuff. We could probably make it work. Okay, this team is pretty darn tank, but if we can land Death Break on the right side, I'm pretty sure that this should be able to... doesn't kill. Fuck! Me. Uh-oh. At least we did stun it. Don't kill me, please. Did Despair stun 1? Okay, not the worst as of yet. I think low-key, I kind of want to have a slow on you, because then I can lap on 2 units. Can do. This is speed buff scaling thingy. Can we kill? Not enough damage. Wow, this team is fully freaking tank, I guess. I think we just do this. Okay, it is a slow team though. I have... no, there's no reason to do an S2 over there. Okay, it does go for that, so that does mean I have to hit you right now, which is not good for me. But if I do this, he has to hit me as well, which is good, I guess. Because now we counter, and now we win. Not how I was expecting this team to win, but we're winning. We're winning. Not expecting this, but yeah, that's, I guess, like a guildie of mine also lost against this. That's, I guess, also went in with a nuke. It was a tricky one right there. It was a tricky one right there. Time for another hit. This should be an easy outspeed for this team over here. Shouldn't be too big of a issue right there. Wait, why is that? That looked like it was not selectable, but it was selectable, but it just looked kind of dark over there. So we do outspeed over here. Okay, that's good. I think we're going to clear on the left. I think that is probably my best play. You could be annoying, but I don't really see you killing everything, whereas this thing on the left does have a good bit of damage output. So do I, apparently. Okay, what do you go for? Okay, goes for that and that. So let's just go for this. Miscrit, but that's fine. That death break kind of hurts, but then we can clear that, which is good. You start hitting that. All fine. All good. She all pretty much dead in the window right there. You just want to take one more turn, and then you die. Nice team, as long as it's rightly tuned. And it's mainly rightly tuned. Like, this thing is pretty fast. It is on will. This thing has to be pretty fast and has to be on high speed up effect. And then this thing has to be on shield and also swift and then also high speed up effects. Don't have enough crit rate for that, but it's good enough where it works. Okay, then a molly kind of hits. It is a little bit tricky to cleave this. It could be fairly tanky and that kind of stuff, but for that reason, I think it is somewhat slower-ish. I'm expecting to be able to just send this in and go for it. Okay, if it doesn't proc, that's fine. Go for that. I think that the biggest issue is if that thing would be alive. Let's just collab damage on you and easy clear. But it can be a little bit tricky if things starts getting resisting and proccing, and you know how that works, right? 2 more hits to go. We got a typical Bernardo over there into a Morg, into a Orochi over there. I think the idea is going to be killing this Triton, because if I kill the Triton, there's no way he wins. Whereas if I kill the what's it called, this thing over here, the Amber, it might be a little bit tricky. I should pretty much guarantee an outspeed. I would be very surprised if I get outsped. And it is not on will, which gives me options for the dots to land as well, which does add a bit more damage in case he is tanky. But I highly doubt that this would, yeah, no, that's... You ain't surviving that anytime soon. And now we just have the immunity to work. So because of the immunity, that doesn't really do damage. Let's just have the death break over there. If this crits, would have killed. That does crit for 70k, and that's a GG right there. And that's why I don't really use this Triton count. There's too many counters. It's not even the only counter by a long shot. But it is a pretty nasty and nice counter right there. And the final hit of the day, I've been seeing a little bit more of Sierra, mainly Laura plus Bomber or some kind of thing over there. So I actually made the Acroma specific for that, where I have a very tanky monkey, tanky Raccoony, and then this thing is also semi-tanky. They don't have any sustain. I should be sustaining a little bit longer than they do. And I just outspeed the whole rockery bullshit. What the fuck is this? Actually, I should kill you first because you can actually side bomb. But that's some of those teams where they, yeah, they just go ham on this unit and they don't do anything else. And it's just like a free win. Like, I literally could walk away from the PC and I would win this. Like, there's pretty much no chance of me ever losing this, no matter how it's ruined. So If you do have a Camilla, or not a Camilla, an Acroma, and you're wondering how to use an Acroma, I think that finding those Sierras plus Strip and then some unit on the side that's not that great, it's probably a good call. I've seen it with Dark Aragorn as well. Like if you're fighting a Dark Aragorn with all of, well, with a Laura and then a Wunsa next to it, or no, not a Laura and a Wunsa. Sierra, Laura, Dark Aragorn, Sierra, Wunsa, Dark Aragorn, Sierra, Wunsa, John, what else do you have? Like there, you have a bunch of those kind of things. As long as they don't have death breaks on the side things, you're pretty much good to go, because Dark unit will always focus that. Whatever Laura does doesn't really matter. So you're struggling with those. You do happen to have an Acroma. Acroma's a really nice count for that. You don't have an Acroma, cry in a corner. Use something else. That's just... I just wanted to use my LDs, because that's also a thing. For me, in the guild, I cannot really show the specific perfect counters to things, because those are the ones that people can copy. People can copy it, and they're good. I cannot show that most of the time. But if it's LD focused, then it's most of the time not that big a deal, because people don't have that many of an Acroma anyway. So that's what we had for all of the Siege hits today. Definitely do like some of those new hits that I did earlier today. Definitely do like this one over here. This one is tricky. Probably will use it a bit more. This one has some proper damage to it, but we got heavily tagged over there, actually. This one is a pretty nice hit as well. We'll be using that more often. And yeah, that's about it for this video. Guys, thanks a lot for watching for this one. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to do more sieges on the main. But most of the time, I'll just be spamming whatever decks I have in here, because I'm not really planning to make any more decks until pretty much Siege tournaments, and then maybe even the finals if the earlier rounds are easy. But I do think I will be sitting on those 23 decks that I have over here for quite a while. Also, it is very noticeable that it's a lot harder to do these recordings like this. It's way easier to just record it on my phone and talk about a hit afterwards. Because if I talk about the hit afterwards, I don't have to keep the game on my PC on at all times. I don't have to... Like, I can go into a hit really quick, whereas right now, okay, recording is on, this is on, that is on, PC is on, this is on. I have to be sitting here all the time checking, like, okay, when can I do a hit? When can I do a hit? When can I do a hit? It's a very tedious process that way if the guild is pretty active, and it took me until like 7:30 p.m. to actually get all of my hits in. And all that time, you're pretty much like actively checking, can I do a hit? So... don't think I will be doing this many style of sieges on the main that much. On the alt, it's a lot easier because there's always something to hit. On a main account, on like a top 2 guild, it is pretty hard to do, I would say. Guys, thanks a lot for watching. And see you as always in the next one.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.